So Ericka is from Texas, so maybe you can help her in her county as well. Or maybe you can volunteer to do some work in Texas.
You know me, I am constantly trying to understand why it is that Christians particularly cede ground all over the place. They're like, oh, we're going to stay out of it. I don't want to be involved in politics. And it's like, well, but then you don't really get to be surprised when they do crazy stuff like remove personhood status of the unborn. Like, don't you think it's important to fight for your values?
Right. Absolutely. I believe that it is an amazing thing to me that someone who is a believer and someone who reads the Bible could believe that God would want them to completely not be involved in the political process, in any civic process that goes on in this country, because when we leave that process, it's been shown over many. I have a great pastor who talks about how when he was a young boy, he's in his 60s now, when he was a young boy, how everyone talked about how when television came out, how television was evil. And a lot of the Christian people just abandoned that medium of communication. When actually that could have been the way that God was going to use, or Jesus was going to use to reach the world. And so, but it was just abandoned. It was turned over to the left. I mean, we look at our arts, we look at our institutions of higher learning, Harvard and Yale and Princeton. These were all institutions that were started by strong people of faith. And now over time, we have ceded that over to the left. The fact that we even talk about, abortion at late stage abortion, the fact that we even talk about, women or men participating in women's sports, that says that in a lot of ways we're losing the cultural war, and the left is advancing forward, and we're continuing to retreat. Well, I hope that we can send a message that Christians can no longer retreat. We have to engage the cultural wars. And if we do not engage those wars, then we're going to lose a lot more than an election. We're going to lose the soul of this nation, and which is far more important. And so I'm excited to work with you and to work with folks like Jay and leadership. I'm excited to be able to sort of play a small part in trying to push back. And I think it's just a start. I really do.
Yeah. I want to go back about the television thing. A lot of people don't realize that in the 50s, Bishop Sheen had his own television show on the network. It was the #1 rated show on television in the 50s. It was a Catholic bishop coming on, talking about biblical principles, reading scripture, and explaining to people how their active life as a Christian needs to be part of the national conversation.
Wow.
He didn't do it in a way of demeaning or in preaching, but in understanding and bringing people to the fore. And we need more of that.
Wow, what a trailblazer he was! Wow, he saw, he saw something that a lot of evangelicals did not see at that time. A lot of evangelicals retreated from that medium entirely, and so God bless him. I wish that we all, as a community, as a Christian community as a whole, would have followed that example, because it'd be amazing where we'd be today had we followed that example.